Hello class. Keeping on the theme of the Roaring Twenties, today we're going to discuss the topic of prohibition. For many of you, prohibition may be a new term or something you may never heard of before. Prohibition in the United States was a national ban on the sale, manufacture, and transport of all alcohol in place from 1920 to 1933. Alcohol was defined as a drink with more than 0.5% alcohol, but this did not include alcohol for medical or religious uses, and we'll get into how that affected the law later. Many people ask why prohibition? Well, the prohibition of alcohol was put in place because the government saw it as the devil's advocate. Meaning, the government thought if alcohol were banned, you could eliminate the worst social issues, such as crime, poverty, and death rates. Many people also believe that prohibition would improve the economy of the country and would also create a higher quality of life. In January of 1920, after the 18th Amendment of Prohibition was put into action, it was no longer legal to have, drink, or sell alcohol. The pictures below show bar owners having to dispose of all alcohol they may have had while government officials watch on. What actually occurred with the outlawing of alcohol was the opposite effect of what people wanted or thought would happen. Crime rates actually went up due to the bootlegging and theft of alcohol. Alcohol consumption also went up on average simply because it was restricted. Also, with no more regulations on how alcohol was made or consumed, the numbers of alcohol poisoning cases went up dramatically. The 1920s also saw the rise of the speakeasies. These were places where people would gather in secret place to drink together. When speakeasies were raided, many people were charged and thrown into jail for their illegal action. This resulted in higher taxes as more people were taking up space in jail, instead of the opposite of what all was expected the law to do in the first place. Because prohibition laws kept people from obtaining alcohol legally, they turned to gangs and mobs who were more than happy to sell them liquor. Bootlegging became an extremely profitable crime. Even doctors who were against prohibition made remedies or medicines with high concentrates of alcohol, since the law did not enforce the use of it for medical purposes. In the later 1920s, there were so many negative aspects from prohibition that people started rebelling. People knew that bootleggers would not be allowed to continue their activities and keep selling even if alcohol were legalized again. People started pushing for government control, which is the system we have in place now, where all flow of alcohol is controlled by the government. With all these protests and the rise of the Great Depression, prohibition ended in 1933 with the 21st Amendment.